For decades, the .22 Magnum lived in a strange place in the handgun world. Everyone respected the cartridge, but not everyone trusted the platforms built around it. In rifles, it made perfect sense. It was fast, flat enough for small game distances, useful for varmints, and more authoritative than .22 long rifle without stepping into centerfire territory. In revolvers, it also made sense. A rimfire cartridge does not have to feed from a magazine or cycle a slide when it is sitting in a cylinder. But in semi-automatic pistols, the story was different. The .22 Magnum always seemed like a cartridge with potential waiting for the right machine, and for a long time that machine was hard to find. That is the real conflict behind the modern .22 Magnum pistol market. It is not just about which pistol holds the most rounds or which one looks the most tactical. It is about whether manufacturers have finally solved the old rimfire autoloader problem. The .22 Winchester Magnum rimfire is longer, more powerful and more pressure-sensitive than .22 long rifle, but it still carries the quirks of rimfire ignition and rim case geometry. That means feeding, extraction, timing, slide weight, magazine design, and ammunition selection matter more than casual shooters expect. A centerfire pistol can often muscle through imperfections that a rimfire semi-auto cannot. With .22 Magnum, the gun and cartridge have to cooperate closely, or the whole promise falls apart. That promise is powerful because .22 Magnum offers something many shooters want: low recoil, high velocity, lightweight, useful penetration, and the possibility of very high capacity. It is not a service pistol cartridge in the traditional sense, and pretending otherwise does not help anyone. But it does occupy a fascinating middle ground. It shoots flatter and hits harder than most people expect from a rimfire. It allows fast follow-up shots. It can be carried in lightweight platforms without feeling punishing. And when paired with modern magazines and better operating systems, it starts to look less like a novelty and more like a legitimate specialized tool. The problem is that the same features that make it attractive also tempt people to overstate what it can do. The Rock Island Armory X-T shows one path manufacturers took to make the cartridge behave. Instead of making the pistol extremely light or futuristic, Rock Island leaned into weight, steel, and familiar 1911-style ergonomics. That approach makes sense. Mass helps control the gun. A heavier platform can make the sharpness of the cartridge feel almost effortless. The X-T feels less like a tiny rimfire pistol and more like a serious range gun chambered for an unusual cartridge. Its delayed blowback system and two-piece barrel concept reflect the central engineering problem. .22 Magnum cannot simply be dropped into any ordinary rimfire pistol layout and expected to run perfectly. It needs a system built around its pressure curve and case behavior. But the X-T also reveals the trade-off. At around 40 ounces unloaded, it is not pretending to be a pocket gun. It is not the lightest trail companion, and it is not the simplest answer for someone who wants maximum convenience. Its strength is shootability. Its weakness is portability. That makes it interesting because it reminds us that reliability in rimfire semi-autos often comes from giving the system enough structure to work correctly. The heavier gun may be easier to shoot and more forgiving on the range, but the owner has to accept that the same weight that makes it pleasant under recoil also limits where it fits in daily life. In other words, it solves the shooting problem before it solves the carrying problem. The KelTec PMR-30 answered the question from the opposite direction. Instead of building a heavy steel pistol around the cartridge, KelTec built something almost shockingly light and gave it a 30-round magazine. That was the breakthrough that made people pay attention. 30 rounds of .22 Magnum in a handgun changes the emotional math. Suddenly, the conversation is not about a small rimfire trying to imitate a bigger cartridge. It is about volume, speed, and controllability. The PMR-30 became famous because it felt unlike almost anything else. Featherweight, loud, fast, strange-looking, and packed with more ammunition than people expected from a handgun that light. But high capacity creates its own illusion. 30 rounds sounds like a solution, but capacity does not replace reliability, shot placement, or realistic expectations about terminal performance. It gives the shooter more chances, but it does not make each individual round more powerful than it is. That is the trap with high-capacity rimfire pistols. People can become so impressed by the number in the magazine that they forget the cartridge still requires precision and the firearm still requires proof. A PMR-30 that runs well with the right ammunition can be extremely useful and fun, but it also teaches an important lesson. In .22 Magnum semi-autos, magazine design and ammunition compatibility are not side issues. They are the heart of the platform. The Walther WMP represents the next stage in the evolution, treating the .22 Magnum pistol like a modern tactical platform rather than a quirky rimfire experiment. Optics-ready slide, accessory rail, ambidextrous controls, bright sights, and a full-size polymer frame all send a clear message. Walther is not presenting the cartridge as a novelty. It is placing it inside the same design language shooters recognize from modern defensive pistols. That matters because perception shapes adoption. When a .22 Magnum pistol looks and handles like a serious modern handgun, more shooters are willing to evaluate it as a practical tool instead of dismissing it as a range toy. Still, the modern features do not erase the basic question: what is the role? A red dot on a .22 Magnum pistol can make the gun extremely easy to shoot accurately at reasonable distances. A light rail may make sense for certain defensive or utility setups where lawful and appropriate. Ambidextrous controls are genuinely useful for left-handed shooters or anyone who values adaptable handling. But features can also encourage a kind of tactical theater if the owner does not understand the cartridge's limits. The WMP does not turn .22 Magnum into 9mm. It makes the .22 Magnum easier to use well. That distinction matters. The gun improves the shooter's interface with the cartridge, but it does not change the cartridge's fundamental identity. Then there is the Arms MP-22 Accelerator, a pistol that feels almost like a different species. It is massive, long-barreled, heavy, and built around accuracy rather than convenience. In a market where everyone seems obsessed with compactness, the Accelerator takes the opposite position. It says that if you want to get the most out of .22 Magnum, stop trying to shrink everything. Give the cartridge barrel length, give the shooter stability, give the gun enough weight to settle down and enough sight radius or optic support to stretch its legs. That makes it less practical as a carry pistol, but far more interesting as a hunting or precision rimfire handgun. This is an important reminder because .22 Magnum is highly sensitive to barrel length. The cartridge earns much of its reputation from velocity, and velocity depends heavily on the platform. A long-barreled pistol will usually give the round a very different personality than a short, lightweight handgun. That is why the Accelerator still has a following even after being discontinued. It serves the shooter who wants performance more than portability. It is not trying to be the easiest pistol to store, conceal, or carry. It is trying to be the pistol that lets the cartridge breathe. In a world of compact tactical rimfires, that old-school long-barrel approach still has a serious argument behind it. The Smith Wesson M&P-22 Magnum may be the clearest sign that the category has changed. What makes it important is not just capacity, although 230-round magazines certainly get attention. The deeper story is the operating system. By adapting a locked breech, gas-operated concept, Smith & Wesson addressed the long-standing problem of making a high-capacity .22 Magnum pistol run more like a modern centerfire design. That is not a small detail. It changes the way people think about rimfire pistols. Instead of accepting that .22 Magnum semi-autos must be temperamental, the design suggests that reliability can be engineered more directly if the system is built around the cartridge from the beginning. That is why this pistol feels like a turning point. It takes the features shooters now expect: optic readiness, modern ergonomics, corrosion-resistant finish, high capacity, manageable weight, and combines them with an action designed to tame the cartridge's timing challenges. The result is not just another rimfire pistol with a large magazine. It is a statement that .22 Magnum can live inside a serious modern pistol architecture. But again, the honest view matters. Even with better engineering, this is still a rimfire. Ammunition quality still matters. Testing still matters. Cleaning and maintenance still matter. The platform may be advanced, but it is not immune to the realities of the cartridge. The larger lesson is that .22 Magnum pistols are becoming more capable because manufacturers have stopped treating the cartridge as an afterthought. The older mindset was to make a rimfire pistol and then chamber it for something hotter. The newer mindset is to design the pistol around what .22 Magnum actually demands. That means better magazine geometry, smarter operating systems, stronger extraction, more stable platforms, and sights or optics that let the shooter exploit the cartridge's low recoil and velocity. When that happens, the .22 Magnum stops looking like a compromise cartridge and starts looking like a specialized one. But specialized does not mean universal. A .22 Magnum pistol may be excellent for trail use, pest control where legal, survival kits, low recoil training, recreational shooting, or certain defensive roles for people who need minimal recoil and higher capacity. But it is not automatically the best choice for everyone. The ammunition can be more expensive than .22 long rifle. It can be louder than people expect. Rimfire ignition still carries different reliability concerns than centerfire ammunition. And while the cartridge offers useful penetration and speed, it does not produce the same terminal effect as larger defensive calibers. The person choosing it has to understand both sides of the bargain. That bargain is the real heart of the .22 Magnum pistol debate. You gain controllability, capacity, lightweight, and speed. You give up the centerfire standard of ignition reliability and the larger wound potential of more common defensive calibers. You gain a cartridge that is pleasant to shoot quickly. You give up some margin if your hits are poor. You gain a platform that can be incredibly useful in the right environment. You give up the simplicity of choosing a conventional handgun cartridge with decades of institutional support behind it. None of that makes .22 Magnum bad. It makes it honest. And maybe that is why these pistols are becoming more interesting now. Shooters are no longer looking only for the traditional answers. They want firearms that fit specific roles. They want low recoil without giving up all performance. They want high capacity without the weight of a full-size service pistol. They want pistols that are fun on the range but still useful beyond casual plinking. .22 Magnum answers those desires better than many people expected, but only when the platform is reliable enough to let the cartridge shine. The cartridge was never the problem by itself. The missing piece was always the gun around it. In the end, the best .22 Magnum pistol is not necessarily the one with the most rounds, the longest barrel, the lowest weight, or the most tactical styling. It is the one that best manages the cartridge's contradictions. The heavy steel pistol gives you control. The lightweight, high-capacity pistol gives you portability and volume. The modern polymer pistol gives you features and adaptability. The long-barreled precision pistol gives you velocity and accuracy. The gas-operated modern design gives you the strongest argument, yet that rimfire semi-auto reliability can be pushed forward. Each one proves a different point. The .22 Magnum pistol is no longer just a curiosity, but it is also not a miracle. It is a cartridge and platform combination that rewards realistic expectations. If you understand its limits, test your ammunition, choose the right gun for the role, and practice enough to use the low recoil well, it can be far more capable than skeptics admit. But if you treat capacity as a substitute for competence or velocity as a substitute for judgment, it will disappoint you. That is the twist. The .22 Magnum is finally getting better pistols, but the shooter still has to be better too.